melodic. She want that old thing back. I said, peace to the gods, I said, peace to the earth, I said, peace king, peace to the kings, I said, peace queen, peace to the queens, I said. Yeah, it's peace king when you see me in the street, proper greeting. To not acknowledge a light being is not the season. No ego, clearly the leader of the people. Vision like Calico, this for my amigos. Leaning on that window of that Rego. I'm praying that one day he gonna be free though. They ran up in the crib while he's peeking through the peephole. Never thought it would be divine evil. Creeping with that heat close. They say I walk around like I got an S on my chest. Now that's a gold-plated no baguettes on my chest. Life a movie, words got special effects. A old school G used to bump Rex and effects. And the Fugees, youngins know that I'm next. I pump knowledge to the streets so they showing respect. Cause I did it without the fraudulent stories about me blowing a tech. I let the Most High order my steps. Feel me? You gotta know what time it is, man. Reach the age of Aquarius. Each one teach one. That's what it is. I said, peace to the gods. I said, peace to the earth. I said, peace king, peace to the kings. I said, peace queen, peace to the queens. I said. The quarterback need protection from the lineman for the yards. 8 more makers in alignment with the stars. Too many MCs lining your bars. And you wonder why they ain't buying your cars. Like, oh, keep filing cause he won't keep silent about police violence. Keeping both he's firing for the weak and dying. No need for sirens. Third eye eyelids open and vibrant. Jamal Milton shining. Hard to watch a young king get killed and he died over cigarettes. Shit. Steady talking about you real, you ain't let your gas pale for that nigga yet. Shit. And even if we chop the bag off, you probably front like, nah, I need a bigger check. But I just seen you on the internet, talking about you been a threat. We sick of that. You know what I mean? You gotta come on, destroy to rebuild. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, come on in, family. Grand Rising. Put your nines up and let me know where you from. Put your nines up and let me know where you from. What's your name, where you from. Meanwhile, I'm going to get that frequency right and exact. Feel the vibes. Grand Rising, Assalamu Alaikum, Shalom, Hotep, Grand Rising to the royal family. Ankh Emayat, as we say for 2018 and beyond. Life and balance to you all. And welcome to the Lighthouse. This is where you will find African spirituality and sacred sciences, knowledge you may have never heard before, that we are going to bring to your attention this morning. Make sure you like, share, and comment. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you are on Facebook, click the follow button as the friends lists are already full, so you can get your notifications as to when we come on. 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Before I begin, as always, I always like to shout out the first 9 people who logged on this morning, who woke up early and was ready and prepared for today. I want to shout out Theodora Murphy out of Phoenix, Flint via Phoenix. All right, so shout out to her. We'll be down to Flint shortly. We are actually selling T-shirts right now online to raise money and awareness for the Flint water crisis. If you would like to be a part of that situation, that lituation, you can get you one of these hot t-shirts like the one that I'm wearing today. Okay, and they are for donations of $35, I believe these shirts are, to the PayPal. Okay, and I'll go over that at the end of the show, how you can get one of these shirts. We got the new ones now with the camo print looking crazy. But yeah, so shout out to you, Queen, out of Flint. Corey Hicks, shout out to you. He's already outside grounding. He's got the right idea. That's what's up. If you haven't seen the video on grounding, go back and check that out. LaSonia Bellamy is in the building. Hotepu to you, Queen. I see you. I see you. Levi Bell, Uncle Mayat to you. Royal Nasut. And Hemsanu, Latifah Forster is in the building as always. My right-hand lady right there holding it down. Sonia Sunshine, a longtime supporter. Shout out to Sonia Sunshine in the building. Adria Barton, I see you. Yes, per Baba Heru. Ashe, that's right. We got to switch it up on them. You know what I'm saying? When you in communication with the elders, you know, you get first-hand knowledge when it comes down the pipeline, you know? So that's what we're about here in the Lighthouse. Jetty Tab Hefziba. I like that name. Jetty Tab Hefziba. Belize. In Belize. Shout out to you in Belize. Hopefully one day we can take a trip out to Belize as well. Michelle Cameron Isaacs, upstate New York. We're coming very shortly to upstate New York. If you didn't get a chance to see that flyer, you know, we're going to be coming out to New York. That's actually the next build that we have. We're going to be paying homage to our ancestors in upstate New York. We're going to be doing a bus tour from Rochester to Auburn. If you want to be a part of that situation, we're going to be paying homage to Frederick Douglass, Chief Logan, T. Lunsford, and Harriet Tubman on August the 4th of this year. So be a part of that. You can get on the bus tour. It's only $35. That's going to include the tour on the bus, the lecture, and food. So New York, come on out, New York. Let's do it big. Lighthouse New York is in the building. So with that being said, today we're going to get into the truth about Black queens. We got to talk about the Black queens. This is a long lost subject. It is one that is swept under the rug. It is a topic that is for most people here in this world that we live in today, especially here in America, it's almost a curse to try and talk about the contributions that not just African men have made, but African women, African kings and queens have made to modern day society. So we're going to get into one of my favorite Black queens to talk about, that even myself I haven't talked about. I just look back and admired, you know, the work that was put in. In order to do that, we have to first show you what went down. So we have to talk about Rome first. Let's talk about the Roman Empire. Now, as we all should know, what we've probably been taught in school, is the Roman Empire is, to date, besides the United States, the current state of the United States of America, the Roman Empire was the most dominant empire, the most dominant European empire to exist. Okay? And to give you an idea as to how dominant their reign was, these are all of the countries that the Roman Empire had conquered. Okay? This is how far it went at its greatest extent. Pretty much the entire Europe was conquered under this, right? Certain parts of the Levant and northern parts of Africa. Northern parts of Africa. Now, when you look at this map and you see how many countries they were able to dominate within that period of time, we're going to go over that in a little bit, but you'll see that they conquered certain parts of Africa as well, that northern tip, as you can see, right? Including Egypt, okay? So let's talk about it for a second. the ancient Roman Empire included the three continents: Europe, Northern Africa, and the Middle East. The Roman Empire was one of the most powerful empires of the ancient world. Historians believe that the earliest Roman settlements began in 753 BC. The glory of the Roman Empire was at its peak in 200 AD, and the entire empire spanned over an area of 2.5 million square miles. 2.5 million square miles. Many of the achievements of the ancient Romans are still in use today, and that is a fact. Okay, what made the Romans so successful? The Romans built an empire that survived for 1,000 years. Okay, due to their military, technology, and leadership abilities. What was it about the Romans Empire? Technological and leadership abilities that helped them build an empire. One of the key ingredients to the Roman Empire's success was their army. It was the first paid full-time professional army in the world. So this is where we get it today, where you go off and you can get your stipend, you get paid to actually be in the military. This is where we get that from. This is one of the things that we still do today. Okay, the Roman army conquered many countries, which included England, Wales, Spain, France, Germany, Northern Africa, parts of the Middle East, and Greece. Now, if you look at all of these countries that are named here, none of them are small-time countries. These are not bums, okay? These are not bums that Rome was conquering. They're not low-level society, third world civilizations that weren't able to fend for themselves, that didn't have armies of their own. Okay, so one of the key things that you want to remember is that all these places that they were dominating were also black at that time. Okay, all of Europe was black first. You see, all of Spain, Morocco, right? The Levant, all of those were black countries, black civilizations that migrated out of Africa. Okay, so this virus of Rome that was going down, was spreading throughout black culture. This is black culture, right? It's the outskirts of black African culture that this was starting to spread and Rome was conquering. But if you notice here, if you look at the map as to their reign, right? They had no problem, but aside from the Mongolian conquering the Mongolians, they had no problem, pretty much just wiping out all of Europe. And they were beginning to make their way further south, or during that time it would be further north, right? So they started beginning to make their way further down towards Egypt. And as you see, Egypt has the original name here because this is an ancient map. Ancient depiction of it, Aegyptus, and this is where you get the word Egypt from, the word Aegyptus. Those who couldn't pronounce it, so they just called it Egypt for short. Okay, but if you notice when you look at Egypt or latter-day Kemet, you'll see that it stops there. It stops at Kemet, and it doesn't go further down, right? You see that? It doesn't go all the way down. It stops right when they get to Nubia. They never made it through Nubia, as you can see. Okay? And there's a reason for that. If you look at Nubia, right, all of the civilizations of Africa, the main civilizations that were successful, were built along these waterways, right? So this is the key to conquering any nation. Once you conquer the waterway, then you conquer the people. Because without water, they can't do anything. You see, all the major cities in Africa were built along the Nile, along the water. So this was the key for Rome to conquer. So Rome did its thing until they ran into a black queen. Until they ran into a black queen by the name of Amina Ketsu. Amina Ketsu. Queen Amina Ketsu was a large black woman, African woman, out of Nubia. And as you know, Nubia was the land of gold. The land of gold. That's actually what the word Nubia means. And this black queen was so official, not because she, I should say, had all the riches, which she did. She had all the gold, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But she was official because she was a leader, a black female leader who was always seen with a bow, staff, or some sort of weaponry on her. Why? Because she wasn't a queen that just sat on a throne and ordered people around. She was a queen that actually went out and fought. As a matter of fact, everybody was shook daddy of her. Nobody wanted no parts of Queen Amina Ketsu because she played no games. Real kings and queens are at the forefront of what's going on. And she was no exception. She was the epitome of what a black queen actually looks like and does. She was known for beheading her enemies. Known for it. Known for slaying people down. When Rome came through there, they couldn't do nothing with her. They couldn't do nothing with her. She's the reason why Rome didn't conquer the entire continent of Africa. Their army was larger. They were stronger. The whole 9 yards. But her single-handedly turned them away because of the way she ran her empire, and she was at the forefront of her empire. No joke. So, looking at the gold that she had in Nubia, the gold that she had, insane. And there's several things that you could take away from this. Her tomb was in Kush. Her tomb was found in Kush, and that's it there. If you notice, when you look at her tomb, it's completely dismantled. Completely dismantled. Because grave robbers came in there in Moray. They came down there and in search of riches and fame, and destroyed these pyramids. And yes, these pyramids were here before Kemet. These pyramids were here prior, and hundreds more prior to the civilization of Kemet, just to show you how ancient and how long we've been doing this. Okay? So don't let nobody fool you, okay, into thinking that when you see these things in the museums and stuff like that, that they are a part of the real inception of human civilization. Because human civilization we already had laid down. What you see as far as Kemet, Egypt, and things of that nature, that's the blossoming of human civilization. That's when we were at our peak. Like I always tell you as an analogy, it was like Times Square in New York. But that's not where the culture came from. And you can tell when you look into the pottery, when you look into also the jewelry, that the people of Kush and Nubia and the further north, or what they call south now, was wearing. Okay? So you can see on her jewelry, they said she was known for wearing these massive bracelets. And when you look at the bracelets, you can see that she had the same deities that we dealt with. You see the lotus flower there? You see that? And the scorpion queen above the head, on the headdress. You see? She had, these deities were already in place by the time Kemet came about. A lot of people like to say, yeah, Egypt had this, and Egypt was evil, and Egypt was this and that. Listen, man, all of Africa from the south to the north was dealing with these principles. And you find it on the jewelry. If you look here, look at this. I don't know if y'all was around when I did the story on King Tut. But if you look at this ring is the same kind of ring that King Tut had. And King Tut had the ring of Amon. Y'all remember that? When I posted it for y'all and showed y'all the rings of King Tut? She had the same rings of Amon sitting on the throne on the ring. Let me see if I can pull one up from the lecture a little while ago. That's it there. Okay? It's a little blurred, but you can see Amon sitting from left to right on the throne. You see? So just to show you the consistency of the deities that was being worshipped throughout Africa, from the south all the way up to the north. And Queen Imani Ketsu was no exception to this. She did those conquerings in the name of Amon. And you can find just look at the detail, family. Look at the detail on the jewels that was found inside the tomb that is now in the British Museum. Okay, these are your ancestors' jewelry that they were laid to rest with. And grave robbers came in and took it. And they're now sitting in museums. Okay? So, just to give you more of a background on Imani Ketsu, she also was blind in one eye. Blind in one eye. From all the battling that she had been done, she had been sliced in her eye and can only see out of one eye. She was a real one. Nothing to play with. Okay? It was said that she actually, before Rome came through and tried, because she knew they was coming. You know what I'm saying? When you bossed up, you know everything that's going on in all different areas. So she knew that Rome was getting ready to try and make their insurgence into Africa. So what she did was, before they actually came in, she sent them a gift of a satchel with golden arrows in it, made out of Nubia. Golden arrows. She said, to show you the warmth of our people, take this offering. She said, keep those bows. She said, and if you ever plan on trying to invade us, make sure you keep those bows, because you're going to need them. That is what she sent to the king of Rome at that time. And when Rome was trying to come in, they was coming in because they wanted to tax Nubia. They wanted to tax Nubia. In other words, Augustus, right, which is the same one that you celebrate now in the month of August, Augustus, right, this is during the times of Jesus, right, in the Greek culture. They wanted to tax everybody. And you'll hear the story in the biblical text too. Acts 8:27. You'll hear of Imani Ketsu. Actually, you'll hear of her daughter, Amina, right? But in any case, this is during those times of taxation where Rome is conquering everywhere and they're trying to make people pay taxes. And under her tomb, you will find, under the tomb of Imani Ketsu, you will find the head of a statue of Augustus in the bottom of her tomb there in Kush. Just to show you, yeah, how gangster she got down. And what the language that her stele is written in, no one's been able to decipher just yet. We can only tell by the pictures what she was made up of. We can only tell by the pictures how she was depicted, and she was always depicted large, curvy, black, like just like the women that you see here today that you shouldn't be messing with. You already know. You don't mess with Big Mama. She'll smack the hell out of you. That's what Imani Ketsu looked like on the walls every time you see her. Whether she was dressed up royalty-wise, she always wore her jewels, crazy big earrings, all that. You see what I'm saying? She knew what it looked like, and she held it down. She was the epitome of royalty, and this is what her tomb looked like before it was destroyed. You know what I'm saying? This is what the tomb used to look like before you walk in, when you walk in or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at this, you know, fast forward to 2018. When you look at this, right, and you say, yo, how come we as a people can't rise up? How come we as a people in 2018, you know, don't have what we're supposed to have? How many divine feminine queens do you know that are walking around that are capable of doing what she has done? I'll wait. Think long and hard. Think about Rome and the technology that they had. That would be the equivalent of the United States of America. Rome would be the equivalent of the United States of America. The most advanced technology in warfare, right? Paid soldiers. Can you think of a woman, a divine woman, right now, black woman that you know of, that is capable of pulling something like that off? They ask me why. Why we don't have, why black people, why civilization, why does it look the way it looks right now, our community? When you measure it up to that, where do we stand? At some point, you got to look at this and say, yo, these are the people that they considered primitive, right? Primitive. And look at the type of force she was able to portray and the amount of fear, because of her track record, she was able to portray. You understand? These are the type of women that are necessary, that are needed in our community. We got enough of laid back, weave wearing, lazy, non-productive, complaining women that are not capable of pulling off stunts like this. We got enough of that. Don't worry, fellas, we'll get to y'all tomorrow. But we got enough of that. I think it's time that we start really delving into our history and saying, yo, look at our DNA. Look at what we are made of. Look at what we have inside of us that we need to tap into and try and pull out. You see? Like the other day when I bought the other queen, I Am Persec Met on. Some of y'all never even heard a woman talk like that before. Blew your mind. Blew your mind because you never seen it before. This is why we do what we do, because you need to see it. You need to see what it looks like to walk around knowing you can pull things off, knowing that fear doesn't exist. It's a construct that you develop, that's created. You see? We need fearless women walking around. See, it's easy to talk a good one. It's easy to talk a good one until the police come around. Then everybody, shh, police. Those the boys. Right? Everybody talks real good. But when it's time for action, it's almost non-existent. And this is why our communities are failing. We won't even stand up for our own families, let alone stand up for the entire black community. How do you expect to have a black woman lead the army of black men ready to pop off, right? When she can't lead within even her own home or communities? how do you expect her to lead in a whole onslaught of a revolution? It'll never happen. It'll never happen. You understand? It's a mindset more than anything. Because see, before she even went to war with them, she was already constructing her mind and said, yo, I know these fools about to try to come up out here. You know what I'm saying? So let me let them know we cool over here. We ain't tripping. We ain't tripping. Matter of fact, cook up some of that gold for them. Give them the finest golden spears. Just to let them know we ain't trying to come at them. But if they do, if you do try and come at me, I got something for you. I got something for you. You understand? It's that sense of balance. That sense of balance to where you know that you're powerful enough to do something that you're even willing to give them weapons. Here, we'll give them to you. Just to let you know how official we are. We know these lands. You're not coming into my house. You're not coming into Africa and taking this thing over. Nowadays, we give up our culture like it ain't nothing. Here, European, you can take whatever you want. Come rape this culture. Come get it. Take it. You can have it. We don't even stand up for our own culture anymore. You know what I'm saying? We cool until a holiday come around. Soon as a holiday come around, we turn into a whole different culture. And they get mad when they take our culture. Like you wasn't just walking around here in green for St. Patrick's Day. Like you just ain't have your Santa hat on. Celebrating the Nordic culture. Right? We quick to dismiss our culture. But then try to get mad when they rape our culture. Man, you gave the culture away. You already showed that you don't value your culture. You can't stick to a lane. You understand? What is your square? At what point do you draw the line and say, yo, I'm unapologetically African. This is what I am. You know what I'm saying? No offense to you, but this is who I am. You understand? A lot of us come along, and it's mainly the holidays that catch us every time. We good until we see everybody else that ain't connected doing it, and we think the grass is greener on the other side. We always looking to see what somebody else is doing, what somebody else got. You understand? Instead of embracing our own culture and realizing that we are the jewel, that they're trying to be like us. They don't have a culture, so they invented cultures. All of their holidays are based off of damn near fictitious characters that never existed. Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, huh? It's all based off of things that didn't exist, that were spin-offs off of our culture. The leprechaun, right? Which is best. That's best. That's who they're mimicking. Those are all our deities. You understand? So when you get back to your divine self, right? In this case, we're talking about the black queens. When you get back to your divine self, you'll see that there's nothing stopping you but you. Nothing. Like you're running out of excuses when you have a woman, right? She got to be at least what, 230 pounds when you look at the depictions here. She's probably around 230 pounds. She's got one eye, huh? And she's able to hold down a whole civilization and hold off Rome when it was in its prime. When Rome was in its prime, they were coming in to conquer her and her people. So where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? And then, not to mention, of course, black men are looking at this now. Because see, now that this knowledge is out there, black conscious men are looking for that in you. They're looking for that in you. We all want to walk around and say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm a king. You know what I'm saying? I'm a queen. I'm a queen. Really? Really? Let's look up what the definition of a queen is. What really is it? Right? Because then when you get into the research, you realize that they were actually not called queens. I use the word queen because I know the audience that I'm talking to. You understand? When we delve into it and we sit in circles, in different circles around, and people that are even more enlightened than what I put on this feed, right? That I know are capable of understanding, we say Kandake, we say Royal Nasu, right? There's different languages that we speak according to who we're trying to address. So when we say Kandaki, this is who she was. She was not considered a queen. She was considered what they call a Kandaki, or where we get the name Candace from. If your name is Candace, shout out to you. Your name essentially means queen. It means royal woman. That's where we get the word Candace from. And they were called the Kandaki of Kush, or the Candace of Kush. And it wasn't just her. It was several queens that came through Kush, that came out of Kush, that was banging. They was known for banging. They was known for carrying bows and spears. Known for it. They led the forefront. In fact, they welcomed it. They weren't one of those that went out and fought because they had to. You know what I'm saying? There was no draft. You know, we short on soldiers, so we're going to need to recruit some of them. No. They was like, what? You going to try to bang on my family? Hold on real quick. Hold on. Hold on. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even none of it wasn't even like modern day times today where it's like, oh, you want to fight? Hold on. Let me take my earring. No, she went out there, jewels dripping. Jewels dripping, yo. What? Who does that? Who goes to war, jewels dripping, chains on, bracelets, armlets? Huh? Who does that with a sword in hand? With a long flowing dress on? Who does that? Sounds crazy. Sounds crazy. But I don't think I'm reaching here when I say black women of today are soft. Soft. Compared to what we're looking at here, soft. Soft. I need a man so he could come change my tire. I need a man so he could come and open my doors and let... Soft. Get your weight up. Get your weight up, yo. Word up. Because when we looking at this, it's like, yo, what if we want to compare it to when we were great? This is what we comparing it to, yo. This is what we comparing it to. We're comparing it to this level of greatness. Black queens. Black queens. There's a lot our dudes can learn from this. Because if the black queens was doing that, what level should we be on as well? Think about this. What level do we need to be on to be able to forcefully protect something like that? Something that can protect themselves. Huh? To be able to hold that. Think about what kind of soldier you gotta be as a man to hold down an empire such as Imani Ketsu's. Whoa. Whoa. You gotta be a whole different level of a man. A whole different level. Whole different dimension that we have not seen. We have not seen here in America. We have not seen a black man capable of holding down that kind of empire. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. That's a whole different level. Even right now. In other words, you got to come up with a technology that is greater than what we have right now as far as the American society, right? With all the weaponry that they have. You got to come up with something better than that. that's able to fend off their technology, because that's what it was based on. Rome was based on, in its inception, it's a technology. That was what made it so great. So what it ultimately came down to was the science. The science. We need more scientists. People that think outside the box. We need someone to develop a technology of weaponry more than anything in the black community. That's what we need. We can't fight them with their weaponry. Huh? She said, I got something for you. Here's the arrows. Let me show you our arrows real quick. This is what we rocking with. You understand what I'm saying? In order for you to be able to hold down an empire capable of sustaining itself, of being sovereign, you have to have a certain audacity about yourself. It starts with first you have to have the self-esteem enough to want to protect who you are and what you have. Your family and everything that you have. You have to have at least the self-esteem to say, yo, I'm special. I'm great. I'm awesome. That's one of the first things missing in the African community. We can't even look at ourselves in the mirror and think of ourselves as great or awesome. You know what I'm saying? We always trying to fix something. Let me. I had something the other day that I was looking at and I screenshotted it. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I have it here. Oh yeah, I got it. I'm gonna screenshot it and bring it up so that y'all can look at this. It came up on the book the other day, and I just thought it was an awesome quote. This fella here, Robert Mugabe, quoted. He said, "You cannot give a woman everything she needs. If God himself gave them eyebrows, they shave it and draw their own. God gave them nails, they cut it off and fix their own. God gave them hair, they cut it off and fix their own. He gave them breasts, they repackaged it to what they want. God still gave them buttocks. They arrange it to the size they want. If even God can't satisfy them, then who are you to think that you can please them? My brother, don't kill yourself." Woo! Woo! Bruh, this right here need to be on the back of somebody's t-shirt. This one of the realest quotes that I've heard in a long time. In a long time. This is a quote about self-love more than anything. More than anything, it's about self-love. You see? You got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. The elders can see it. They can see it from afar. The elders are able to pick up stuff like that. They break it down to the African most common denominator. The only reason why a woman will go ahead and do all those things to herself is if she doesn't love herself. Doesn't love herself. We're talking about the woman as a collective, right? We're not talking about individuals. I'm sure there are women who wear hair all different types of ways, just like they did in Africa, and they love themselves. But as a collective, when you see that every single woman, some way, somehow, takes part in this process of development to be able to even go outside, there's something that's gone awry. There's a sense of self-esteem that is not hitting. If you feel that this is what you need to do to even go outside, something is not clicking as far as your self-esteem. You see? Well, believe it or not, there's some fellas that's walking around here like that too. There's some fellas that can't walk outside without a fresh pair of sneakers, a ill watch, right? Gotta go outside with my watch on. Gotta have my clean tee or my chain. Can't go nowhere without my jewels. You know what I'm saying? I can't go nowhere without unless my waves are spinning. You know what I'm saying? They keep a brush on them all day long. All they doing, all day long. You know what I'm saying? It's a sense of self-esteem more than anything. To say, yo, I'm good just the way I am. Just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am. You see? I love the way my hair naps up. Right? I love the way it does what it does. It's me. You see, the only people that don't think it look right is Europeans. That's a European mindset. That your hair got to be combed a certain way, otherwise it's not up to par and stuff. Those are European concepts. Huh? In order for you to be able to build a civilization, you got to first love who you are as a person, as a being, as a divine light being. Then from there, you go into everybody else, loving the reflection of yourself. You see? You're not going to love the reflection if you don't love who you are first. When you look at yourself, okay, I like what I see. I love what I see. Then you look in the reflections of yourself, which is people. They're reflections of who you are. How are you going to love them? You don't even love yourself. Say, why can't I be in a relationship? You don't even love yourself. What? This is why relationships fail. 9 times out of 10 relationships fail because they don't love themselves. Not because they don't love the other person. They don't love themselves. So they don't even know how to show love to somebody else. You haven't mastered self yet. You got to master self first. You understand? Men and women this way. Men and women. We all dealing with this. Self-mastery is the key. Everything else comes second. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I know. I know what they taught you in religion. That it's about everybody else. No, it's not. No, it's not. You are everybody else. You see? We are all the same. All of us. You were given a specific body to take care of. Oh. Your body is your responsibility and yours alone. Yours alone. You came here with it. You're going to leave here with it. Self-love. Self-love. Once you understand that factor, that us as being the deities and the gods that they speak of, once you realize that we are using bodies, we are using flesh to complete a work, then when you realize this is your body, you love this body, then you realize the importance of the other bodies and why you ought to treat them with respect. Why you ought to love them just as much as you love yourself. Right? Treat others as you would treat yourself. Right? You got to treat yourself first. Know what that's about before you able to treat others. There's a method to the madness. It's a science to it. Right? We're talking about our rites of passage to be royal. Right? What does royalty really look like? These are fierce conversations because it forces you to look at yourself and say, yo, do I fit into any of these variables or any of these descriptions? Like what part of myself do I need to work on? Right? Right? Not the physical carnal way, the mind. Because the mind is what develops all that we see here. It's the mind that creates this. You can totally recreate what you look like if you change what your mind is thinking. The thoughts is what become actions within the body. All of that comes self-healing. All that comes with the mind. You see, people be thinking it's in the pills. It ain't in the pills and in the drugs. It's the body. It's the body that actually does the work to heal what's going on the inside. But it's the mind that tells the body what to do. We're developing a royal-like mindset. We're developing a king-like mindset, a queen-like mindset. That's what we're doing here in the Lighthouse. But it's in stages. If you notice, the lessons that I give you, they're getting a little bit more intense now as to when we first started, because it takes a level of understanding that you have to develop a square on first before you can move to higher levels of consciousness. Otherwise, it just comes off as I'm crazy. It's just rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? It comes off, well, he just talking crazy. That's 1100 AD. That's BC. That's a long time ago. If you don't understand the importance of history, how can we talk about today? You understand? So I had to give you the lessons on history before we could talk about becoming kings and queens and other. Yeah, we say that, right? But we getting you ready. We getting you ready so that when we say, yo, you really are a king, you really are a queen, it's in your blood, that you realize that the jewels are in there. Listen, gold is not the jewel. The gold is not the jewels. That's why you got to realize she was the jewel. The gold is the dressing on top of the jewel. You are the jewel. The gold is the dressing on top. It's the cherry on top. Right? Gold you can find like plastic in Africa. In America. You know what I'm saying? You can find that like plastic in America. Gold was everywhere in Africa. Matter of fact, you can create gold. They was manufacturing gold. Did you know that mercury is only one electron away from gold? All you have to do is electrify mercury and you can create gold. Did you know that? They got y'all running around here paying thousands of dollars for gold, when really all you need is mercury. Did you know that there's mercury all over Africa, all over China? Look at mercury. Take a good look at mercury and just paint it gold. That's what gold is. In order for all of these elements to create, it's a process. I'm telling y'all too much. Gold is not what you think it is. So when you realize that the jewel, the prized possession is actually you, it's the people, it changes your perspective. It changes your perspective. Then you realize that, yo, it's not about always trying to do my own thing. There's no riches in that. There's no riches in that. The richness is in the people. That's what a kingdom is about. It's about serving the people. Because the more you serve the people, the more people you have served. Huh? Just think about how deep that statement is. The more you serve the people, the more people you have served. So simple. So simple. It's everything. You understand? The more love you put out as a king, the happier your kingdom is. The more love you put out to the people as a queen, the more love you're going to get back as a queen. This is why she was able to, let's put it this way, if she sent a gift to her enemies, what do you think she was doing for her loved ones, for her people? What kind of queen was she? You think she was just a hard fist tyrant type queen? No. She practiced ma'at. Like, listen, we love our people. This is what we do here. Don't trip. Because if you trip, you're going to have a problem. The reason why you're going to have a problem is because we love each other that much, we're not going to fail. Different way of looking at it, right? Not just she's bad, mamma jamma. Different way of looking at it when you know. When you have the African mindset. It's like, yo, she served her people so well, she didn't have to worry about being conquered. Send them a gift. Let them know. They better not come around here because we're going to fight to the death. We love each other. We're not getting paid for this. No trophies. No trophies. We got all the gold. We got all the riches. Huh? It's Nubia we talking about. Don't come over here tripping, white man. Huh? And your black people you got working for you. Don't come over here tripping. Because you don't understand the love we got for each other as a family here over in Nubia. You don't want this sauce. You don't want no smoke with us. That's how Queen Imani Ketsu ran her situation. When you have a African mindset. Black queens. Let's pay some bills.
Imagine not needing to rely on certain man-made drugs for the rest of your life. 9 Essential brings you the best organic turmeric powder. Turmeric is an amazing herb which has anti-inflammatory functions due to its bioactive compounds. Our product range is a safe and easy-to-consume turmeric powder that is based off ancient remedies that have worked for years. Turmeric reduces the pain that people with arthritis feel in their joints. It protects the liver from being damaged. It reduces the risk of cancer. It protects against heart disease. Visit www.9essential.com to learn more about our products.
Current events. Current events, family. Get ready. Get ready. This is a big one. The annual African Royalty Gala that's popping off in Dallas is going to be major. $100 a person. I got my brother Kevin Wesley. He's supposed to be coming on the show real soon too. Kevin Wesley, I, Empress Segment, and myself going to be having a lecture out there. Dallas, Texas is going down at the Grace Banquet Hall, 7111 Marvin D. Love, Fairway, Dallas, Texas, 75237. Get your tickets right now. $100. Come in your best African cultural apparel. We're gonna be re-Africanizing Dallas, Texas, all the way over again. So come on out, get ready. It's gonna be crazy. Also, we have the Lighthouse Family Reunion popping off August the 25th. Everybody's getting ready for this. The menus just came in yesterday. So we are voting on what kind of food we're going to have there. It's going to be catered August the 25th, 2018. And I think we're going to be changing the park. So just don't quote me on that. But we are going to be in Brooklyn. It's $30 for couples, $20 for adults, $10 if you're 13 to 18 years of age, and $5 if you are 12 and under. So we have to pay for the expenses for the park. That's why it's a ticketed event, because we do have to pay for it in New York. If you don't know anything about New York, they hit you with crazy permits in New York. So we have to get all the permits, for the DJ and all the different things that we're going to need. So we got that popping off. Also, like I said earlier, we are still raising money for Flint, Michigan. We're going to bring out some water out there. We're going to try and get these people right, man, because this water crisis is crazy. So if you want to help out with that, you can help out by getting your Lighthouse T-shirt. The Lighthouse tees are selling like hotcakes right now. You can go to paypal.me/Lighthouse DETCLE. It's going to be popping off in Flint, Michigan. Okay, so if you want to get your T-shirt, get your T-shirt. We got some more left. Also, what else we got going on? Oh, yeah, the Lighthouse Power Bracelets. We still got some of those available. If you want to get your exclusive Lighthouse Power Bracelet, you can only find those bracelets here at the Lighthouse. If you want to get you one, they're for donations of $50 or more to JamarMilton@gmail.com. Again, that's JamarMilton@gmail.com if you want to rock your Lighthouse Power Bracelet like the rest of the family does when they show up to the lectures, so on and so forth. It's just so cool when you see everybody and we're just on one accord. Everybody's in unison and they rocking their stuff. It's just really cool to see, the support, the love and support when I go out, and I see everybody come along and they just got on all their apparel and stuff. We merched up now. We growing, so it's a beautiful thing. If you want to get other jewelry, you can see the studio of Patah. You can see Baba Jeru, his shop. He's got a shop right here in New York City. I've actually been there a couple of times. You should go on out there and check him out. It's a really nice spot if you are in the New York area. We might. That's not a bad idea. When you come out here for the cookout, when we come out for the family reunion, we might end up popping over there, because I think he's going to be. Actually, I think he's going to be coming to the event. But we should all just go over there and say hello to Baba Jeru, and get some jewels, man. You know what I'm saying? Just so be prepared to shop when you come out here, so we can go see Baba Jeru. He's the one that does the jewelry for the likes of Erykah Badu, top end stuff. You know what I'm saying? No cheesy stuff with Baba Jeru, real stuff. Okay, and if you also if you're looking for some cable. I got a nice little ad for you. Also, when you come on out to the reunion, we also have the reunion tees. You're going to want to order this ahead of time so you can have your t-shirt, okay? Because we all going to be rocking our shirts. And on the shirt, it's going to have, the logo on the front. The metallic with the red is crazy. I just love the way the look of this shirt. And then on the back, it'll have whatever city, whatever lighthouse city that you come from, on the back of the shirt. So we're all going to be on one accord, all in unison. So get your Lighthouse t-shirt as well. We also have some new jewelry. We got medallions and we got earrings. You want to hit up Sister Adrian. She's on here right now. If Adrian, you can put that link in the feed so that you can get your Lighthouse medallions and earrings. I love the way these things look, man. I got to get some to the house so I can see the Queen wearing them and stuff like that. They look really, really nice, man. I can't wait to see some of you guys rocking this stuff. It's just really cool, man, to see where we've grown, what we've grown to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got the Lighthouse is a monster all in itself. You know what I'm saying? It has its own heartbeat. It just continues to grow, and I'm in awe. We have some to the likes of 20,000 people now, plus on the feed. You know what I'm saying? And coming out and getting to meet you guys and kick it with you guys it's so awesome to see. It's an amazing experience for myself. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could film everything that I see. My life is like really a movie. I wish I could see like just what I see. Sometimes when you're in it, you don't get to see it, from the outside looking in when you're in it and stuff like that. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just watching you guys grow is just awesome. But yeah, listen, man, I love and appreciate y'all. We want to build kingdoms. The overall message is that we're trying to build kingdoms, man. And, when you're kingdom building, there's the work never stops. You gotta continue to work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you got to make sure that you have the right mindset. You know what I'm saying? If someone were to give you a kingdom today, would you be capable of holding it down? Do you have the resources? Are you connected with enough people? Are you trying to connect with enough people or put yourself in that place to actually be sovereign, to be a queen, to be a king? Like, what does that look like? You know what I'm saying? If somebody gave it to you today, would you let somebody come in and just take it from you? You understand? Because if they were able to conquer those countries in that amount of time, if Rome was able to do what they were able to do, in during those times what we consider primitive, right? What are the capabilities of today? What can they do to you today? How many brains have you sparked? How many people do you have that you sparked the brains of that they know what to do in your absence? Right? That's the mindset of kingship and queenship, of royalty. It's like, what do you like if I go, for instance, I can only speak for myself. If I go, does the lighthouse still exist? Does it still exist? You see, those are the things that I think about. Right? So my goal is to make sure that I spark enough brains, that I prepare enough people so that when I'm no longer here, that this thing still breathes. It still lives. Right? That I still live. Right? That's how you want to live your life every day. You want to live your life not for today, right? Not for the past, not for the future. You want to live your life for all of eternity. You understand? Where time doesn't exist. Everything is growth. So that's what we about. Black queens. May the divine force in me greet the divine force in you. Do I. Ashe family. Peace.